concerned. I'm concerned because there's a whole lot going on throughout the world. It's a whole lot of stuff. We've been talking about building a better family relationship within the church, breaking cycles this month. Pastor Horton did a wonderful job last week, and Myron Edmonds the week before that, and Pastor Calazar the week before that. I'm really thankful that I could even be in this great month of speakers and even be mentioned in this month, and I just count it a privilege. But we've been talking about breaking cycles, and one of the things that I've been realizing is that there's just so much blatant evil throughout the world. Every time you turn on the TV, you see that somebody else has died. You see that somebody has been robbed. You turn and flip the channel, and then you see this whole fiasco debacle of this presidential campaign, where you got two people, and one's an accused liar, and the other is has this natural tendency of degrading women and sexualizing women, and yet these two people may be the leaders of your free, quote-unquote, not-so-free world. There's so much going on. You go to work, and then you talk to your fellow co-workers, and you talk to your colleagues, and some of y'all are in this position right now where people are telling you that they are going to be laid off, or that they have been laid off, they've been fired, or they don't have enough money to put food on the table, they don't have enough money to put their kids through school, and you get in your car, you drive down the street, and you see all these homeless people, you see all these people struggling, you see all these people that have these mental issues, that are struggling with something inside, people with bad habits, and all these disasters happening with hurricanes and explosions happening in the Middle East, and crazy people running for presidency positions, and all this stuff is going on, and just when you thought you can count on the church. I listened to a report, this is 2 weeks ago, here locally on the news, about a man, and this just blew me, about a man that was being interviewed because his church here in Dallas disfellowshipped him. I'll tell y'all, it blew me. Disfellowshipped him because he made a public stance that he was a homosexual. Now, these jokers got so pious in their seats that they wrote my man's a letter. And they said, whenever you feel like repenting of your lifestyle, we will welcome you back into the church. And stick with me here. And we, the people, the body, the church, the Christian Seventh-day Adventists, and I use that term with a specific purpose because Christianity is my identity.
Yes, Lord, yes.
But Adventism is my mission.
Yes, yes.
And we, the people, we will be the first ones as Christian Seventh-day Adventists. Whenever we see things going on throughout the world, we will be the first ones to declare to our uncles and our cousins and our brothers and our sisters, and husbands and wives, we will be the first ones after these circumstances and these issues that are going on and all this turmoil, we will be the first ones to declare that this is some blatant evil. And we have this fetish. This fetish with seeing things that are evil and declaring it as the signs of the times. So we declare it as the signs of the times so that we won't do this and we won't do that and we won't go here and we won't go there. And if we understand this in the Bible, then we won't do this. And if we understand that in the Bible, then we won't do that. And while all these disasters that are happening throughout the world and young black boys that are getting killed and people that are losing their homes and losing their jobs, we gather here on every Sabbath. And then when we get up in the pulpit, we go down our SDA quota system of preaching. And whenever there's a little Johnny on Monday night that got shot by the cops with his hands up and was innocent and got shot before they even asked any questions, we get up and we preach our last day message.
Yes.
We see people struggling out in the seats and in the streets, and they come inside of our building, and then we tell them that the Pope changed the Sabbath. We see people that are struggling for acceptance. They need something of validation in their lives. They've been rejected by their family. They've been rejected by their friends. And we tell them that somehow, some way, we are God's only remnant church.
Preach on, Wes. Preach on, Wes. Preach.
people struggling and trying to get out. And we tell them because they're striving to get better in life. They're trying to make better strides. They're trying to get themselves out of the hellholes that they're in here on earth. And we tell them, if you follow these health requirements, you'll have a better life.
Well.
And so I'm concerned. I'm concerned because I've realized that our focus has been, our concern has been, and it's been ingrained in my head since cradle roll running around these hallways, that our focus has been on the plain view, common sense, blatantly evil stuff. Easy to see that stuff. But yet we don't talk about the fact that there's something else happening throughout the world. That there's something mysterious that happens throughout the world. It's easy to notice all the evil and stay away from that. But the Bible is teaching me something daily, and the Lord is teaching me something, and I've been learning, y'all. Can I tell you what I've been learning? I've been learning that while my concern has been on all these signs and times and dates and symbols and when things are going to happen that are evil, I've been learning that the devil's main concern, while I've been concerned with all of these other things, is just to get me to deviate from God's will. Stick with me here. If you know somebody that's a master manipulator, somebody that's good at persuasion, you understand that their main concern is not about getting you 100% on their side, but making sure that you're not 100% on the other side. So they will settle at 98% or 99% because they know that 1% or 2% differential leaves room for you to deviate to the other side. So therefore, I'm learning, and I need your prayers this morning, y'all. I need your prayers. I'm learning that what God has been teaching me is that everything that is good, everything that feels right, everything with good intentions, isn't always God. I'm concerned. In fact, I'm stirred. I'll be real with you. I'm stirred. Why? Because I'm realizing that all of our focus is on the things that are blatantly evil. But what we don't acknowledge is the fact that the devil himself can deceive us into believing that things that feel good, things that make us feel comfortable. You know those things that make you feel like you're doing better in life? Those things that make you feel like you're climbing the corporate ladder. Those things that seem logical in our head. He can get us to believe that those things are of God. And while we focus on all this blatant evil stuff, he'll deceive us by all these things that appear good. So what he does is, he tells us, he's like that man that drives a nice car, has a nice job, respects you nice, comes to church every week, is a part of all the different ministries, that he's a part of God's will for your life. Since we are the church, he gets us to believe that since we are the church, we can just sit back and relax while all this social injustice goes on because Jesus is coming back anyways. He gets us to believe that we should stop giving our tithe to GC because they're going to mishandle the funds. He gets us to believe that our affirmation of faith should be the fourth commandment instead of John 3:16, only to hoodwink us into believing that salvation comes from keeping the Sabbath and not from accepting Jesus as your personal Savior. He hoodwinks us into believing and declaring to the rest of the world that we are the remnant, even though Scripture points to the fact that the remnant don't even know that they're the remnant, only God. He gets us to believe that in order for us to boost our numbers in education, that we should make the 29th fundamental belief Adventist education. Not true. You didn't know they're trying to do that, did you? Wow. He gets us us to believe that we should ordain women because they're women, not just because they have been beautifully and wonderfully made in God's image with extraordinary gifts, just like men. He gets us to believe that everything that feels good, everything that's comfortable, everything that pleases our eye, everything that feels good inside, everything that makes sense, that is logical, he gets us to believe that it's of God. And he's been deceiving us ever since. Some of us are sitting next to some things that we know he told us not to. We are driving some things that we know that he told us not to buy. We're going some places, to some people's houses that we know we shouldn't be communicating with. But the devil makes it pleasing in our eyes. I'm not so concerned about all the evil stuff in the world. I gave that up. Because what I'm realizing is I'm not as smart as the devil. And if I'm the devil, I'm going to try to hoodwink you and deceive you into doing something opposite of God. So my concern is, what is it that he will do to me or get me to believe in order for me to go opposite of his plan? I always think of this, what he presents in our lives every day, what God allows him to tempt us with, or what is he doing to deceive us? And so here's my issue. And putting this gently, I have an issue because I'm afraid that Jesus, the one that we know in the Bible, the one that we read in John 6:38, if he was here on earth, in our churches, that we would not be comfortable with him. Stick with me here. I'm concerned because I feel like we would treat him as an outcast. In fact, I firmly believe that if he was around us, that we would think that he's crazy, that something is wrong with him. I know we talk about Jesus dying and healing folks and everything, and that's easy to read about, but him being in the midst, the reason that I believe this, and stick with me here, is nothing against Jesus, it's the fact that he operates differently than us. Our main text told us that Jesus is always in tune with his Father and what he wants him to do. He's always in tune with what his Father wants him to do. Therefore, he doesn't go anywhere or not go anywhere. He doesn't communicate with somebody or not communicate with anybody. He doesn't go around somebody or not go around certain people unless God tells him to go. Amen. Jesus doesn't operate aimlessly. He doesn't go off of impulse. He goes off of his Father's will. Amen.